saying that the AM Extra team really wants the KOIN.
Oh,
Barbie
that's
Ken doll.
the favorite.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
interesting.
I'm rooting for Queen of Hearts, so we'll see what happens.
Last year he was Little Mermaid.
I know, hard to beat that.
I know.
That was a pretty good one.
It's up to you guys at home, vote.
Yeah, certainly not the weather that says, let me go take a swim.
No, no. And I'm sure February, once it arrives as well, will be just about the same. Those chilly temperatures definitely working their way back into the Pacific Northwest as Portland hovers right around 39 degrees right now with those overcast skies becoming more widespread, able to squeeze out maybe a raindrop or two, and some of us maybe even picking up on a brief ice pellet that will be melting on contact as those winds are expected to pick up as we move our way into tomorrow morning. That will coincide with the sub-freezing temperatures, so no threat of any icing is on the horizon, as many of us are falling back into the mid-30s out towards Troutdale, freezing Hood River, and mid-40s enjoyed out along the coastlines. Just a bit of that moisture now tracking its way through our area. By about sunset, though, all of this is going to start to dry out, and those clouds are actually going to start to break down and give way to some clearing conditions. Now, our radar has a difficult time actually picking up on whether we are actually seeing a snowflake or two, or maybe one or two of those ice pellets embedded with some of those light rain showers that are struggling to even make their way down to the surface, as our rain accumulation still is at 0 here across the I-5 corridor as the number of rain-free days continues to add up. A grand total of 10 as our rain deficit grows and pushes closer to that 1.5-inch mark as a cold weather advisory is once again in place for the I-5 corridor. This does include the Portland-Vancouver area starting tonight at 10 o'clock, taking us all the way through noon tomorrow. The reason it's extended into the afternoon hours tomorrow is all because of those gusty winds. Despite temperatures starting warm, it's going to make it feel even cooler despite the actual temperature warming, as you see those wind gusts right around 6, 7, 8 o'clock, gusting closer to the teens, if not even near 20 to 25 miles per hour. So here's the breakdown of how we actually come up with that feel-like temperature. An air temperature of 25 degrees and wind speeds of just about 10 makes it feel closer to 15 degrees, which means exposed skin has the potential to endure frostbite within just about 30 minutes. And the wind chill, or that feel-like temperature, is only for individuals who produce heat, so all living things. Typically, we have kind of that warm shield that surrounds our bodies, but when you add in the wind, it strips that heat from our bodies, making that actual air temperature feel just that much colder as we prevent any new storm systems from moving their way back into our area with this ridge of high pressure. This trough just to our east, that's the culprit for a brief rain shower or two that we are currently experiencing. But boy, a big cool down is starting to get underway for much of the United States. We steer clear of that, but I want to show you just some of the incredible snow accumulation totals stretching all the way up from the high plains down as far south as Austin, Texas, sweeping across the Midwest and including much of the Northeast. Snow accumulation really expected to fire up this weekend as dangerously cold temperatures overcome much of the United States. On the flip side, we get to enjoy that sunshine for our Friday. That's also going to take us into Saturday as well, as a few of those easterly winds keep us feeling slightly cooler here in the Portland-Vancouver area. At least that sunshine making it feel a little bit more comfortable out there with additional rainfall accumulation really within about the next 2 hours. Maybe if we're lucky enough, squeezing out 1/100th of an inch. But for most of us, we will be staying on the dry side, which is unfortunate for our ski resorts as we continue to melt down that base layer. But at least tonight, falling back to about 31 degrees, those clouds breaking apart, more sunshine for tomorrow, highs back into the mid-40s as our 7-day forecast does paint a pretty dry picture until next week. So we get the rain potential to sneak its way back into the Portland-Vancouver area as our temperatures warm above average. We should be right around 48 this time of year. We are talking about the low to mid-50s, and those overnight lows also expected to warm, but definitely holding on to some of those chillier conditions. I wouldn't be surprised if the National Weather Service tomorrow night, and maybe even into the weekend, issues another cold weather advisory just for those feel-like temperatures.
I will say I saw some de-icers out on the streets in Northwest Portland, so it's certainly getting chilly out there.
Definitely is. Winter is here.
Yep. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.